Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are going to be looking at an old mini flagship phone, the Galaxy S20 FE 5G. This phone was released back in 2020. However, it doesn't feel like it was released 3 years ago because it's still very fast, still very snappy, and it handles tasks very, very easily. Now, I do like the design of this phone. Samsung didn't really put much thought into the design. It has this really dull design at the back. And for me, I think it looks good because there's not much going on here. It's a very simple design at the back. You have your camera and you have some basic Samsung branding here. Here I have the blue variant, but there's also a white and a red variant as well. It also has some metal sides here. I don't know if you guys can see, but the sides here are metallic. The back is plastic, so it attracts a lot of fingerprints. Now, talking about the display, this is a 6.5-inch display which has a resolution of 2400 by 1080p. Now, if you compare this to the S20 itself, it has a 3200 by 1440p display. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this is still a great display. You can barely see any sort of pixelation on the screen, and it's also 120 hertz for that smooth scrolling experience. So if you go to settings, display, you can see the motion smoothness is high. It has a 120 hertz refresh rate and a super AMOLED display as well. You also have the under display fingerprint scanner. It's an optical scanner, not an ultrasonic scanner, but it still works fine. I mean, I like the display in general. It's good, it's fast, it's smooth, and it's very high resolution as well. Now, having a big display also means that you can also view a lot of content very well. I mean, the screen is nice and vibrant, and then as you can see, it has some great viewing angles as well. Now, in terms of RAM and storage, this phone has 6 gigabytes of RAM and 120 gigabytes of storage space. So as you can see, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM and has 128 gigabytes of storage space. So in terms of gaming, this device, Galaxy S20 FE, has a Snapdragon 865. And then for those of you who are crazy about the numbers, this is a Geekbench score. So with a single score, you have 1109. And with the multi-score, you have 2481. Now, it's not really much about the numbers, but it's much more about how well it performs. It does run games very smoothly. Right, so in terms of gaming, I think this device handles games very well. The 6 gigabytes of RAM and the Snapdragon 865 handles the gaming stuff very, very well. I didn't have any issues playing casual games. I mean, all the games I played, this device handled it very, very well. There was little to no lag in terms of playing. Okay, so here's some Call of Duty gameplay. Uh, I was playing and recording at the same time. So you can see there's little to no lag in terms of the gameplay. It's kind of handles it quite well. There was a bit of lag before, but I think that was just a minor something. But apart from that, it's it literally just blazed through the game comfortably. Yeah, so basically, in terms of performance, you're not going to have any issues with performance because I mean it handles everything used to run it. Even though it's a 3-year-old phone, it doesn't really feel like 3-year-old phone. Now, talking about the software, the S20 FE comes with Android 13. It comes with Android 13 with oneui 5.1, and it's not going to get any major updates. It's only going to get security patches. So in terms of software support, it's just going to get security patches, which is kind of a downside to having this phone because you're not going to get the newer features with Android 14 coming next month. This device is not going to get Android 14. Yeah, so in terms of software support, I'm not really happy about that part. Okay, so now let's talk about the cameras. The cameras of the Galaxy S20 FE. So we have a 12 megapixel main lens and a 12 megapixel wide angle lens and an 8 megapixel telephoto lens. You also have a 32 megapixel selfie camera. In terms of taking pictures, I think the Samsung S20 FE takes a lot of good pictures. Like it takes some really good pictures. As you can see, the pictures are very nice and vibrant on this video. So the pictures are very nice and vibrant. There's a lot of detail in them. It captures the colors very well. It does have some processing in the background with the sky. The sky didn't look like that, but it did some processing in the background. Yeah, so in terms of pictures, I think this phone takes a lot of good pictures. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the pictures of the Galaxy S20 FE. So here are some pictures I took with the selfie camera. This is the front facing selfie camera. It's a 32 megapixel lens. This is the normal mode. As you can see, the pictures are not that bad. And then this is the portrait mode. So you can see it handles the edges very well. And overall, I think it's an acceptable level of detail and picture quality. Talking about the battery life, this phone does have a 4500 mAh battery. It has wireless charging and reverse wireless charging as well. Um, in terms of battery life, it isn't so great for me. I've not been using the phone that much. That's why you see the uh, almost 24 hours left on 71%. I haven't been using this phone that much. But if I really start to use it, I noticed about 6 hours of screen on time, which is understandable because of it's an old phone and the battery life reduces over time. So I find myself having to charge it very often, if about once or twice during the day. That is if I'm using this phone regularly during the day. Yeah, so in terms of battery life, if you want to get this phone, you don't really expect good or the best battery life. You would actually have to replace the battery. Now, for my final thoughts, do I think this phone is a good buy? Um, well, if you're planning on getting a low-end budget phone like the A14, which is around the same price range as this phone. This phone is currently around $200. Yeah, so as you can see, this phone is around the $200. This £200, yeah. So this is around the £200 mark. If you're planning on getting a lower end device like the Galaxy A13 or the A14 or something like the A21, A23 versions, I would recommend going for the S20 FE instead. And that is if you don't mind not getting the newer software, because this phone is not going to be getting the newer software. It's just going to be getting security patches for a while. Yeah, but if you're willing to spend some extra money, then I would recommend you get the S21 or the S21 FE, because those ones would be supported in terms of software, and they also have higher specs compared to the Galaxy S20 FE. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are you, some of you still using the S20 FE? Are you thinking of upgrading? Let me know in the comment section below.